Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cats Reactions, and my name's Greg. And normally I'd start off with some music and everything, but I was sitting there watching this press conference, and so I decided, hey, let's just take a little snippet of it and put it on the channel. But this is a press conference that was given up in the state capitol by physicians from all over the state of Minnesota. Some of them, pretty heavy hitters. I mean, the head of the Minnesota Medical Association and, a lot of other folks. But they're, giving a press conference about how ICE operations in Minneapolis and throughout the state are affecting, healthcare, what it's doing to their patients, what it's doing to all the people that didn't get care that they needed because they're afraid to leave their homes. When this press conference first started, the representative, congressional representative from the southern part of Minneapolis came on. He's an ex-physician, or actually, I should rephrase that. He's a physician, even though he's now in office, but he's been in practice for 35 years. He's worked at the Mayo Clinic. This guy knows what he's talking about. And one of the first things he said was Renee Good, the woman that was shot and killed by ICE officers, she was not able to get care. There was a physician on site right outside of her car that was wanting to get to her, and the ICE officers prevented it. Well, when this representative started talking about, the first thing he said was she had a pulse 8 minutes. For 8 minutes after she was shot, she was still alive. And maybe she, could have been saved, maybe she couldn't, but we'll never know because she was denied emergency medical care by officers of our government. It just appalls me. So anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys a little bit of it. The whole thing's like 30 minutes long, so I'm not going to show it. But here is a little snippet of the press conference with a pediatrician. So let's just go ahead and watch this.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Jana Gewirtz O'Brien with the Minnesota chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Jana Gewirtz O'Brien. I'm the president-elect of the Minnesota chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics. We are the leading voice of children's health and well-being in our state. I'm here representing more than 1,000 pediatricians across our state who are committed to improving the health and well-being of children all across Minnesota. We are here for the kids. As a pediatrician working in the heart of downtown Minneapolis, and as a mom whose 10-year-old co-wrote this statement with me, I can attest firsthand that ICE enforcement in our communities is directly harming my patients and our kids. And to other parents watching these atrocities unfold in front of them in their communities, we should all be very, very concerned. And here's 3 reasons why. First, exposure to violence and the threat of family separation causes trauma for kids. When ICE enforcement occurs in or near places where children should be safe, like homes, like schools, like hospitals, and we know they're in hospitals, right? Children experience fear that disrupts their sense of stability. We've seen kids face down in handcuffs in front of their public schools. Teens have been ripped from their homes without coats in sub-zero weather and without their parents present, let's just be real. Parents have been detained while waiting for the bus with their kids. Family separation is not a temporary disruption. It is a traumatic event with lifelong consequences. And for Renee Good's children, I know other parents are thinking about them. They deserve better too. We need ICE out of our communities. Second reason why. Children and families are avoiding potentially life-saving medical care because they are terrified to leave their homes. When ICE agents are in and around our hospitals, which again, we know that they are, including my own, parents are rightfully scared to come in. I've seen babies miss their jaundice follow-ups or straight up say, hey, I refuse to come back in. I really don't feel safe here. We've seen moms that have called and said, my baby's having trouble breathing. I don't know if I should come in. Unacceptable. And we've seen a burst appendix that could have been detected days earlier had somebody not been afraid to come in. Across our state, kids are missing their routine checkups. They're delaying care. They're not seeking help. And they're weighing this like fear of putting their family at risk against the health of their child. This is an impossible decision that no parent should ever be in. Healthcare settings need to be safe, healing spaces, and we need ICE out of healthcare. Third and finally, when ICE is perpetrating violence in communities, kids get caught in the crossfire. Consider Destiny Jackson and her 6 kids. They were coming home from a basketball game. They were in their car, they were not a part of a protest, and they found themselves in a car full of tear gas with airbags deployed. Destiny could have been any one of us as she administered CPR to her infant child. And when their parent asked for help, there was a delay in getting emergency medical care. Again, we see a theme. This is unacceptable. Chemical weapons have no place in our neighborhoods or in our schools. They can have life-threatening and long-term effects on children. It's only a matter of time before a Minnesota child dies as a result of this recklessness. We need ICE out of our state. To close, I have a message for Minnesota parents. Your pediatricians and all of us are doing every single thing that we can to mobilize. We're working to get kids life-saving care in their homes and in their communities. Your pediatricians are still here, and we're all in this together. I'm going to try this in Spanish. Estamos aquí para ustedes. Llámenos y trabajaremos juntos para conseguir la atención médica que necesitan, ya sea en su comunidad o en su casa. If I could say it in Somali, I would do that too. Nosotros, los pediatras, los médicos, estamos en la lucha. We are in the fight. We demand that ICE stop tactics of terror and leave our state. Our patients, our children deserve to be safe, to be healthy, and to grow up free from fear. And to our leaders, protecting kids is not a political act. It is a moral responsibility we all share. Thank you. I want to introduce Dr. Matson from the Minnesota Medical Association.
And I'll go ahead and stop it there. Man, I'm really having trouble with this stuff, you know. You could see all the other physicians there, you know, a lot of them were, I mean, like me, eyes glistening, you know, tears about to fall. These, you know, you keep hearing from the administration that, oh, it's just a bunch of protesters, they're paid protesters, they're part of Antifa, you know, and all this just ludicrous shit. You know, it seems to be everybody within the state is pissed. Those doctors were furious about this whole thing. I mean, I did listen to, you know, more of this press conference, and some of the horror stories they were telling were just horrible. People going without insulin, people going without food because they are afraid to leave their house. You know, it's just, it's unconscionable, and everybody should be angry as hell. And anyway, I don't know what else to say about this. You know, I just wanted to kind of give you a shot of what I'm dealing with every day. You know, all this information is just, it just comes in, just, it's too much. I mean, it makes your head explode, you know, and you can't really escape it because there's just too many really, really important things that occur, you know. But I don't know. I was listening to one of the late night comedians last night, and he was saying, you know, what's happened to us is it's like we're in a snow globe filled with cocaine, and Donald Trump is shaking that snow globe, you know, and so it's just attacking us from all sides, all the time. You know, there's no rest. So anyway, I will be back and play some music, which is really what I need to hear right now. So, yeah, hit like, subscribe, and all that shit. So we'll see you in a minute. Bye-bye.